the supply and demand is getting worse, so you're going to be making a whole lot more. I tell people right now, I truthfully think in the next 5 years, plumbers are making over $100 an hour on their check. More than doctors and attorneys, because right now, ChatGPT is fixing to do all your attorney work for you.
Yep.
They're learning how to use it more and more for medical. And I'm not saying attorneys and lawyers and doctors and all them are going to go away.
But paralegals and a lot of shit like that will.
A lot of that stuff's going. And they're not going to be able to charge you as much now because they're just talking to ChatGPT to get it done the way they want it.
Yep.
And the last time I checked, ChatGPT cannot crawl up under your house and fix a leak.
I had a very similar discussion the other day, and I said two people that'll survive this whole AI thing. True critical thinkers. Mm-hmm. Like true people that are at the top of a business that are making crucial decisions to the success of that business. The critical thinkers that lead business will survive. And the people that work with their hands in the trades. You know, pretty sure, I mean, they've tried a lot of these, like, make your own pizza machines, and they're fucking horrible. Don't see a make your own barbecue machine where no human is involved. You know what I mean? Same way with, like, you. Right. Yeah, like you said, getting under a house. I mean, that kind of stuff where you have to be making human, eyes on target, hands on type of decisions. Those two classes of people are okay. What is really worrisome right now is think of all these college students strapped down with a shit ton of debt that are in middle management, that job will be fucking gone in 10 years.
Well, and you even mentioned the critical thinkers. Man, I could talk to ChatGPT and tell it to go deep.
Yeah, that's true.
Thought. And
that's
it's
true.
Like, look, and I mean, I've got wristbands on that say Roger Wakefield, lead AP, and on the other side they say the trade talks, but you turn them inside out, and on the inside it says blue-collar workers are the original thought leaders. We design and build America. We built the first, everybody says, look, prostitution's the oldest trade in the world. Who do you think built the bed that she did that stuff in? It was a blue-collar worker. So we've been around from the very get-go, okay? And if you want to say, well, she was in a cave or something, okay, you win that. But it was somebody working with his hands that carved that cave out and made a soft spot to lay down or something.
My gosh.
Man, blue-collar workers, I tell this to people every day, Chad. You look at the world you're in. Look around you at the building you're in. When you drive home tonight, look at all the buildings around you. Look at the road. Look at the bridges. Blue-collar workers built every bit of that.
Sure did.
We build and repair America every day, and if we don't change what we're doing, most people are not going to be able to afford a real plumber or electrician. They're going to take Chuck in a truck that says, hey, man, I know how to do that, but I don't have a license. And he's going to come in. He's going to give you a cross connection. It's going to make your kids sick. He's going to use faulty wiring on your electrical work and cause your house to burn down. Is it worth it to lose your family to save a few bucks?
Yeah.
Let's get more people into the trades.
I completely agree. And do you feel like, and I've seen you've had some really cool appearances lately, Chris Como, Dr. Phil, I'd like to talk about those two. But do you feel like when those type of people are reaching out to you with mainstream platforms and audiences, that it's becoming cool again to talk about the trades and push people into them? In my lifetime, the only real bump that I saw was when Mike Rowe started Dirty Jobs. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you started seeing, as that show went on and Mike got a little louder voice, you felt like you heard about the trades. You felt like you heard the trades represented. But and maybe it's just because I'm really getting deep into this podcast and talking more to blue-collar people. But even if I step away from that, I feel like it's having a resurgence. Like it's becoming cool to talk and aspire to do blue-collar. But we're right at the bottom of it. But do you feel like mainstream media is starting to give us a little bit of that respect?
Well, Chad, I'm making it sexy again, okay? That's all there is. No, I tell you what, it was so fun because I already knew that I was going to do the Dr. Phil thing whenever I went to New York with Chris Cuomo. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because Dr. Phil was on Chris Cuomo like a day or two before me. So he had been there. So then when I got to do Dr. Phil, I got to talk to him about Chris Cuomo. And it was all really, really neat. But here's what I think they're seeing is, and both shows were the same. They were both talking about we need more people in the trades, and here's why we need them. And they were talking about all the problems that they're having, about not enough tradesmen, 1 million unfilled trades jobs. Dr. Phil talked about in the next 3 years, there's going to be 3 to 4 million unfilled trades jobs. And that's why I'm saying, guys, it's going to cost us a lot more money. If I don't do what I do, and I tell people every day that I am transforming and elevating the trades industry through education, innovation, and community engagement. And to me, this is important because if we don't bring more people into the trades, you're going to have a lot more people out there that cannot afford a licensed plumber and a licensed electrician and a licensed HVAC technician. And it's going to make America revert back to a third world country. We're not going to have people that can fix and repair and build the structure that we need each and every day.
Because, I mean, really at the end of the day, I mean, two things that keep a thriving nation from becoming a third world country, and that's economy and infrastructure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And infrastructure, as you hit on just a few minutes ago, and infrastructure is, 100% blue collar.
Yeah. And we've got less and less people filling those jobs each and every year. We've got more people retiring. We've taken it out of the schools. We've taken even basic woodworking out of the schools where a kid can at least say, hey, look, I can be a carpenter. I know how to use a circular saw and a hammer.
Yeah.
We've taken everything out. It's time to start putting it all back in.
And why do you think that is? Do you think it was liability? Do you think it was like why take shop and those things out, or is it just budget cuts? Probably that's where it sits. I mean, public education's gotten so bastardized with cuts, especially primary education.
Well, you can say budget cuts, but look, we already had it there. It wasn't
That's
like
true.
It wasn't like they were having to add anything. It's already here. Oh wait, let's cut it out. Let's make it go away. I think it got down to look. Kids got hurt. They hit their finger with a hammer, and Mama said the teacher needs to be shot.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, your little fun kid that doesn't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Thought it'd be funny to hit his own finger with a hammer. Now you want to sue the school, lady?
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
And I do. I truly think that it was. Look, we're teaching kids to play with power tools. Oh my God, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
No, they're learning a career. Let them go to school and freaking learn.
I completely agree. Completely. I know one of the things you've been doing more and more of too, and it's got to be fun, is the professional speaking engagements. Going out regardless of what group it is and just sharing your stories, sharing your experiences. That's got to be pretty fun.
Again, man, I'm living the most amazing life. I get invited to speak at trades conferences. I get invited to speak at social media conferences because of what I do there. Mm-hmm. And then lately I get people inviting me to speak at speaker conferences. Hey, come teach people to speak like you speak. Come show them what it's like. And it's phenomenal because I get invited to like Skills USA, PHCC. I get invited to events where I get to speak to tradespeople coming up. I'm a great public speaker for social media because, man, look, I stepped in 6 years ago not even knowing how to spell social media. and now here I are one.
Yeah, here I are one.
So it's cool to get to come in and tell my story. And it's funny, Chad, because when I walk on stage, I walk on stage and I say, look, I'm Roger Wakefield and I'm just a plumber. and people start laughing. I'm like, no, seriously. It's like, how many of y'all have a toilet, a water heater, or a sink at home? And everybody raises their hand. I say, okay, y'all know as much about plumbing as I did when I started. And I'm like, now, how many of y'all know that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world? And normally half the people raise their hands. And I'm like, okay, half of y'all know more about social media than I did when I started. But now let me tell you what all I've done. And I kind of go through different things. I talk about winning on YouTube. I talk about social media launch, how to grow yourself to where Google sees you and you have a knowledge panel and a brand and an expertise that Google recognizes. And I talk about all this, and then I get down towards the end, and I'm like, look, guys, I teach this now because I had to learn it, or I was going to lose my business. And I think I teach it very well. But this is something that y'all can learn. Each and every one of y'all can learn on your own. It may take you 6 years to get there like it did me, or you may say, Roger, look, I want to learn from you. Teach me. It doesn't matter to me. Just understand that you need to be able to be found on Google, on YouTube, on social media. And I know you can do it because I did it. Mm-hmm. And I'm Roger Wakefield. I'm just a plumber.
What a close.
Man,
what a close. That's a strong close.
Chad, I mean, people are literally like, oh, my God, dude, you nailed it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's true, and I need people to understand that. Look, I'm a plumber that had no education in marketing and advertising and social media, nothing at all. I walked into a conference to keep from losing my freaking plumbing company. And I learned about social media, and I learned how to make videos, and I learned how to tell my story. And I not only turned my company around, I sold that company, and now, man, I get asked to, I got asked to speak to Dr. Phil. Come on, man.
Hey, dude, from everyone I've talked to that's had interaction with him, say just what a great, genuine guy.
Oh, my gosh. It was so good. It was so fun that there was one part in there, and I laugh about it every time because we're sitting there talking, and you know, I've got these kids on the other side that, you know, they don't believe anybody should ever go in the trades. Oh, my God, somebody will want you to get up in the morning, go to work, be on time, and do things you don't want to do, and it's going to hurt your body. And then there was an attorney over there, Ari, a really nice guy. But they're all like, look, everybody should go to college. I'm like, guys, are y'all joking? And we're talking about social media. And then it was so funny because Dr. Phil's looking at one of them and looks over at me and says, well, now I guess you need to start an OnlyFans page. and he kind of looked over at them and laughed. I said, what makes you think I don't have one? And he jerked back around real quick and just laughed, and it was so funny.
Oh, my gosh.
But, man, I'm lucky because I'm witty, I'm sharp. I love helping people.
Yes.
And I do. I've said it multiple times. I get to live the most amazing life I could have ever imagined, and I get to do it every day. So by me helping people, whether it's through Dr. Phil, through Chris Cuomo, getting on stage and talking to Mike Rowe, getting to do things like that to me is just so amazing.
Yeah.
And plumbing is what got me here.
Yep. And that's, once again, though, that's also that, you know, looking at everything as an opportunity, right? You know, you know, saving your plumbing business, you looked at that as an opportunity to learn. You had to. You know what I mean? Like, it was a forced opportunity.
You bet.
But because you've got to do it, try to become the best you can at it, you know, and you're not going to knock it out from the beginning. You know, there's always going to be, you know, roadblocks and failures and this and that, and just staying on the course and just continue to get better each day and learning from it. That's interesting. And for me, as much, you know, what you've done with YouTube and social like that's just super impressive because that can be applied anywhere. You know what I mean? Any small business that's looking to scale.
And I love that you put it that way. Because one thing that I tell people whenever I speak to, you know, normally after I say that, I'm like, look, any of y'all in here right now can pull out your phone, go to YouTube and search plumbing. And if people pull out their phones, I'll sit and watch them. And then all of a sudden they'll do this. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's like, what, did you find somebody?
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, you're all over it. It's like, I know. And what did I tell you to search? I told you to search plumbing.
Not Roger. Not,
okay.
Yep.
What if you could walk into a room and say, hey, I want y'all to pull out your phones and search smokers.
Yeah.
Grills. I want